Me deciding to clean my room. Okay, let's do this thing. Also me after 3 minutes. Nope, never mind. The energy is gone. This usually doesn't happen to me too much. Like sometimes it does, because you just decide to finally do it, but then you get so overwhelmed because there's too much mess. So I can see how this would happen. I'm just kind of glad it usually doesn't. You know? But I can definitely see this happening. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today it's time for neurodivergent memes again because, well, actually we're in November 24, so actually we made it to memes that haven't been on my phone for like 2 years. So I'm kind of glad we made it to sort of current. We're probably even gonna have memes from this year, so that's what we're doing. But you know the deal, before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water or some tea, whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. In the meantime, also feel free to like and subscribe. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. I am a man of mystery. Where are my keys? Where are my shoes? Why did I walk into this room? What is the name of this person who just told me their name? A man of mystery. Unfortunately, the receiver of said mystery isn't other people, it's ourselves. Like, seeming mysterious to other people is probably less annoying than being a mystery to yourself, because then you're just like standing random places, or you picked up your phone because you're gonna look up something, but then you literally forgot. This was me like 2 minutes ago, because I picked up my phone to look at something and immediately forgot. I was just gonna check when like the first episode of a show came out on the streaming service, so I can know like when episodes are dropping. The answer is Saturday. But anyways, how to do a task, TM. Step number 1. Think about the task, TM. Step 2. Think vividly about doing the task, TM. 3. Eat snacks while thinking about the task, TM. 4. Do every task that isn't the task, TM. Step number 5. Lose track of space and time completely, I guess. Step number 6. Oh damn, you just didn't do the task, TM. Step number 7. Promise yourself that tomorrow you will do the task, TM, for real. This time, you mean it. I mean, it has to work eventually, right? At some point, the day will come where you will do the task, TM. Unfortunately, that day was not today. The task, TM, for me, will probably oftentimes be like calling doctor's office to make an appointment, because they have an email, but no, you can't text them or like write them an email about appointments. No, you have to call them, which is just rubbish, by the way, first of all. And second of all, this will lead to these steps. Literally just doing other things. It was like, well, no, it's fine if we do this some other time, right? Like, the other stuff is important too. I should really do the task, I know, but these other things are important too. Well, anyways, how it looks to get presents. They're all just chilling there, sitting on the sofa, giving you the present. How it feels. Like, in hindsight, like, I was still excited, like, for example, on Christmas. Like, it seemed worse on Christmas than on my birthday. I don't know why. I really don't know why, because on birthday, the whole attention is technically on you, and you're the only one getting presents. But Christmas somehow seemed worse, because we would, like, go in a circle, and then, like, one person would unpack a present, and then the next, and then the next, and it somehow seemed worse. Because then you had like a direct comparison, probably. Like, that's probably why it seemed worse. Because you had like a direct comparison to how other people react to getting a present they like. And you're just like, am I underreacting? Am I overreacting? How do I react? And how do I fake a reaction if I really don't like it? If I wanted something else, like, how do I hide the disappointment? that I didn't get a certain thing, it's somehow worse on Christmas. Is that just me? When everyone thinks you're good at keeping secrets, but you're actually just good at forgetting them. I mean, I guess it's the same to that person, because the important thing when someone tells you a secret is that you don't share that secret to other people. How you get to not share it, if you're just good at keeping your mouth shut, or if you forget it, I guess it technically doesn't matter. Like, you're good at keeping a secret. It's kind of bad if you need to remind this person of something, or if you want to like make an inside joke of it at some point, then forgetting it is not the best option. But at first, it's not that bad, right? At least you're not yapping their business that was supposed to be a secret to everyone because you just forgot it. So I guess that's fine. Shout out to the person at a social event who's the first to say they're going home and breaks the seal for the rest of the guests to be like, yeah, I guess we'll head out too. Because it will never not be awkward to be the first. And like, some people don't feel that awkwardness. Some people don't get shy about it. Some people just don't care. That is like, well, like, I'm getting kind of tired, or I need to do so much tomorrow, I need to sleep well. And they just don't care that fast. They're just like, okay, guess we're going. You know? And it just makes it so much easier for the rest of us to decipher if it's like acceptable to leave. Like, it's so silly. Because if it's time for you to leave because you have no more energy left to be there, then it is time to leave. But especially with masking, I really get waiting until someone else leaves to then be like, oh yeah, I guess I'll head out too. Old people. Back in my day, we didn't have autism. The same old people. I collect pictures of cakes that I clip out of magazines. I have at least 8 albums full of them. I religiously catalog every picture and know exactly which album to look in. But no, we didn't have autism. And I can only sit in this chair and in this position. Like, I can't put this chair somewhere else and sit somewhere else. That's not fine. And I can tell you exactly where something is in the basement because it's been in the same place for the last 50 years that we've lived in this house. And my husband collects stamps religiously, but no, we didn't have autism. You know? When I'm on my third, and they just keep talking. For me, it's more heading into me getting mad or pissed versus just looking this like sad or bored. I don't know what this face is. What is this emotion? But anyways, I just get annoyed that they can't like take a hint. But I'm also kind of still terrified of being rude to people, because apparently I'm rude to people a lot and I don't get it. But in those moments, I can't be direct. What is that? Really, what is that? I still don't get why. Like, I can't tell people to shut up. But it would be really practical in those moments, you know? Especially with certain people. The name of the person leaving my brain right after they've introduced themselves. Bye, I'm gonna fly away. You don't need me anymore, right? Like, I don't want to be here. Which, I mean, fair. Like, especially if it's like a weird, awkward work party or something, and you don't want to be there. And like, a coworker introduced themselves, and you maybe didn't have to deal with them before. Or maybe like 5 people introduced themselves at once, really. And you technically know them, but only from like the phone or something, and then you cannot keep them apart. But to be fair, even if one person introduces themselves, I will forget. And then they will come back a few weeks later and talk to you because they know who you are, but you don't know who this person is. You know you talked to them before, but you have no idea who they are. They obviously don't wear a name tag or anything, so you're just screwed. For a long time, I thought I couldn't be autistic because autistics need routines to function, and I didn't have routines. then I realized functioning is more than just going to work. It's taking care of yourself and home properly. I realized that I wasn't actually functioning after all. And then I realized the reason I wasn't functioning was because I didn't have routines. I started asking myself, how do autistic people do it in the areas I struggled in? And when I started intentionally using autistic coping methods, I actually started functioning better. When I started using the same cup and drinking the same drink, I stopped being chronically dehydrated. When I made breakfast a routine and not a decision, I actually ate it. My ADHD needed to cut way back on decision making and executive functioning. Routines were the solution. I think we talked about it in a neurodivergent TikTok video, that routines really is just about familiarity. And if your whole life were spent masking, and maybe as a child you were initially doing these routines of always using the same cup, of needing to eat the same foods, or wearing the same clothes, and people were low-key shaming you for it and just not adhering to that and just giving you random different cups or something. I guess you just started working against that for so long that you don't realize that it's actually just taking so much of your energy. Because unmasking isn't easy, but just slowly starting to uncover these things about yourself and finding little ways to take less energy from your brain is gonna be ultimately very helpful. I have more conversations in my head than I do in real life. Yeah. I always wondered why I make up conversations of situations that could happen at school the next day or at work the next day. Or just revisiting past experiences and acting them out a little differently. Because I was I was kind of awkward. I could have just said something way cooler. And I kind of just thought that was normal because I did that all my life. As a child, it was less overthinking. It was just replaying scenes with Playmobil or Lego or these little other animal statues or something. And just replaying scenarios over and over until I thought they were perfect and then moving on. I thought that was normal. And to be fair, it is. If you're autistic, it's very normal. Being in my brain is trying to have a conversation with myself, but someone keeps interrupting, and that someone is also me. Why are we like this? I mean, we know why, but this is also one of the things that sometimes I'm very used to, but sometimes it's also just really frustrating, because when I'm trying to actually think about something and trying to solve something or trying to remember everything I wanted to do, and then I keep interrupting myself and keep throwing myself off point, it kind of gets a little annoying sometimes. And then you just remember things that you wanted to remember earlier while you were trying to think about it hours later when you're trying to fall asleep or when you're grocery shopping or something. Yeah, it does happen sometimes, Sometimes my ADHD is, oh, I dropped something on the floor. Oh well, I'll pick it up later. Then walking past it every day for a week, angry at it for being on the floor, but also not being able to pick it up and put it away. This is also one of the things that I just thought was normal. That everyone does that. That everybody forgets they wanted to do it as soon as they walk away. They put the empty shampoo bottle in front of the shower to put it away when they're done showering. And then they see it every time they go to the toilet or something, or need to wash their hands in the bathroom. And they look at it and it's oh yeah, no, I need to quickly pee first, or I need to wash my hands first. And then they turn around and just leave. And then they go shower at some point and look at it and be all right, I wanted to put that away. Oh well. Bonus points if you forgot to put new shampoo in the fridge and then you're just standing in the shower damn it. Well, again, also normal for some people. Masking job. Could you explain masking to me? I want to have a better understanding. Sure. Have you ever worked in retail? Yeah. Masking is like being in perpetual customer service mode. You have to modify your behavior to placate everyone around you and to avoid reprimand. You also have to endure when you're uncomfortable. Any respite is often frowned upon. Masking is like being an unpaid retail worker. Oh god. I think this is probably a really good way to put it. Like, of course, all people kind of act different depending on like the social situation. Like, you're gonna act a little bit different around your parents than your coworkers or your friend group, obviously. But just the extent to which you like modify your behavior and the amount of energy it takes to modify your behavior is just on a whole different level. But as soon as you don't do this, the Karen customers, aka a lot of people around you, are gonna lose their minds. So yeah, I really wish we were getting at least paid for masking, because if we're gonna do it, we might at least get paid for it, but we don't. Which just means we're just burned out for no good reason, really. When neurotypicals give me advice on how I should manage my autism, yes, very good, thank you. It's a little bit like when a toddler is like very excited to explain something to you, and they're so convinced they're right, and they're so convinced they're helping, because it's new and exciting to them, and it has to be like exciting and helpful to you too, right? Like, you didn't know that trees grow no leaves in spring, or like that they grow flowers in spring and then new leaves. You didn't know that, right? It's giving a little that, only toddlers are at least excited about it. Neurotypicals are more condescending a lot of the time versus just excited to share. You know, so also not a perfect analogy, but yeah. I fully intend to read all the books I've purchased, and I am on schedule to do it by my 839th birthday. The math will not be mathing, I'm gonna tell you this right now, because you're gonna find new books. You're either gonna add to a to-read list, or that you're gonna buy because you're like, oh my god, this book sounds so good, I need to read it. And then you just have so many books. And then you mean to read. I like often, like almost every day, I'm just here like, oh yeah, I want to read later. I'm just gonna like read in bed before I fall asleep or something. And then I never do because I'm just too tired, or I don't want to read in that moment. I cannot tell you when the last time was I read. Probably like 2 weeks ago. Not that long, but probably like 2 weeks ago. And I mean like meant to read every day since. Nothing is going on. My neurons, I think I will cause problems on purpose. Why? Why? Listen, I know that it might be fun to you, but please be considerate how your actions affect other people. Dear neurons, what are you doing? When your coworker asks a question that makes the meeting go on for 25 more minutes. Really? We had a meeting today. It was supposed to be quicker because that coworker wasn't there. And to be fair, it was, because usually this meeting goes on for like an hour. My attention span isn't attention spanning, you know? So today the meeting only went like 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure I still didn't pay attention all of the time because, you know, but at least that coworker wasn't there today, so you gotta celebrate the little wins. Having one of those executive function days where everything is too many steps. By which I mean, like, here's how my brain parses the steps in making coffee. Good day, 1 step, make coffee. Regular day, Step 1, put water in coffee maker. 2, put coffee in coffee maker. 3, turn on coffee maker. Also reasonable, right? Bad day. Take pot from coffee maker. Turn on the sink. Fill up the coffee pot. Turn off sink. Pour water into the coffee maker. Put coffee pot in coffee maker. Open cupboard. Get coffee filter from the cupboard. Get coffee beans from the cupboard. Put filter in coffee pot. Measure coffee. Pour coffee into filter. Close coffee maker. Turn coffee maker on. Anyways, today is a 14 steps to make coffee kind of day, which also means not much else is gonna get done. Because this for everything. Like, it's not just coffee that suddenly turns from like 1 or 3 steps into 14. And that's the day you just sit there like, why does everything seem so exhausting? Everything seems like too much work right now. But this is exactly why. Because in your brain, it immediately goes from, oh, just one simple step, like go make coffee, or you need to take a shower. No, as soon as it's one of those days, which might happen more or less often, it turns from like 1 step to 14 to 20, 30 steps, right? Especially with showers, it's a problem for a lot of people, because then it's like, okay, you have to like get new clothes to put on after the shower. You have to like make sure you have a towel. You have to turn on the water. You have to wait for the water to be the right temperature. You have to get it in your face. You have to be wet, which is also a sensory issue. Then you have to like wash your hair. Then you have to rinse your hair. Then you have to put body wash on. Then you have to wash it all off. Then you have to like scrub your skin or something so it's exfoliated. You have to wash your face. You have to do so many things. And even if you do it like minimally and you just shampoo your hair, it's still like 5 or 4 steps instead of, oh, just go wash your hair. You know, so yeah. I'm so sorry if it's a 14 steps to make coffee kind of day. Life with ADHD. Sorry, this link has expired. Sorry, that food has expired. Sorry, your license has expired. And then you clean out your fridge and it looks good for like 2 days. And then you went grocery shopping and then you don't know what happened, but then suddenly it's 3 weeks later and the food you opened is probably more alive than you are. So, if you have energy, if it's not a 14 steps to make coffee day, maybe go to the fridge and take out those containers at the back and throw them away. You know, if you enjoy looking at gross things, look at them before throwing them away. But, you know, maybe if you have the energy for it, it might be time to look at your fridge a little closer again. How I look at any social event. Literally me. And again, I thought I was just introverted, right? I thought that's just like, oh, I'm a little socially awkward, I'm introverted. Then I realized I'm trans and just like blamed it all on that really. Like I started figuring out I'm autistic before that. But kind of just put a break in it. We're like, no, you know what, I'm sure that's not right. That's not what it is. I'm sure it isn't. And just blamed everything on being trans. I was like, oh no, that's why I'm awkward around people, because I always felt misunderstood and because I didn't feel comfortable. And sure, that added to it. It definitely did. Like, I'm at least like a little more comfortable around other people now, but that was not it, by the way. Like that wasn't even like half of why I was uncomfortable around people. It would have been easier because then I'd be like sort of comfortable around people right now, you know, but unfortunately that was not it. Anyways, that was all the memes I have for today. We actually made it from November until February. So either I didn't save that many memes or I forgot to put them in the folder, and we'll find them eventually, which seems way more likely right now. But anyways, we'll find them eventually. Maybe in a year or 2, but we'll find them eventually. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this installment. I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe consider drinking something now. Currently really hoping none of you watch several videos of mine in a row, because then you're probably gonna drink too much. If you're already hydrated, please stop drinking. But anyways, if you're not, I need to drink my coffee too because it's getting warm again. But anyways, hope you're hydrated, and I'll see you in a few days with my next video.